With this one, we're trying to find out how much money we're going to have at some future point. This one, we're talking about retirement in 40 years. So a couple different factors here. We're going to plan on saving $105 a month, but we already have some money in savings. We have $2,000 already in savings. And so our investment returns are 8.5%. We want to find out how much money we'll have in 40 years. How much money are we going to have in 40 years? And this is kind of difficult, but this is actually two separate problems. The first one here, we're going to have to figure out how much we're going to have if we save $105 a month. The second one is if we just start with 2,000, we never add anything to it. Then what we'll do is we'll combine those two together. So we actually have two different problems here. Again, here's the first one. We're going to calculate if we saved $105 a month for 40 years, how much would we have? Then we'll calculate if we had our $2,000 starting now in 40 years from now, how much would we have? And we'll add those two together. Okay, so let's focus on number one first. For number one, $105 a month, we're going to get into our formula for calculating how much we're going to have if we add in a monthly amount. Okay, so here's your formula here, and down here in this black here, this is your key. The blue is the actual formula, but the black is the key. So let's bring in our information here for just number one. Again, this is going to be our total answer, but it will give us half of what we need. Okay, and we're just going to start filling this in with what we know. $105 a month. PMT is my payment amount. That's my $105 a month. So instead of writing PMT, I'm going to substitute in $105 a month. Didn't change anything else yet. The next thing we need to be worried about is this APR. And APR down here says it's the interest rate. Well, my interest rate on this one is 8.5%. Now, when we use it in the formula, we can't use percent. We need to convert it to a decimal. Okay, so what we're going to do when we convert it to a decimal, remember that we move it over two spaces, 1, 2, so it would be 0.085%. And notice here, I didn't mention it, but the APR is located in two different places. So when I write in 0.085 for my APR, it has to go into both places, both here and here. Next up, we have N, which is the number of payments per year. We're going to be adding in monthly payments. So this is going to be monthly. There are 12 months in a year. I'm going to write in 12 for N. But notice that there are three different N's here. So I need to write in 12 for all three of those. Okay, and then Y, of course, is going to be how long it's going to be in years. For this one, it's going to be 40 years. So Y would be 40 in this case. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to take this part here, the part on the right-hand side of this equal sign, and we're going to plug that into our calculator. Okay, and it will give us the answer. Now, let me pull in my calculator here. Let's get out of this. I'll pull in a calculator. I'll bring it over here. I'll move this over just so we have some room. All right. So if we bring this in, I'm going to, let's just kind of bring this over so we got a little bit of room there. We'll just open up a new document here. No. Okay, so all I'm going to do is type this one in exactly like I see it right here. So I'm going to go 105 times, and it looks like it's going to be times a fraction here. And up top here, the first thing is I'm going to have a parenthesis here, 1 plus, and I have another fraction. The way we do our fractions are control division sign will give you your fraction. 0.085 divided by 12. And I'm just filling this in exactly as I see it there. This raised to a power here, that is this one that kind of looks like a roof on a house. So just do that one as 12 times 40. Okay, and then down here I have yet another fraction on the bottom. Control division sign is a fraction, 0.085 divided by 12. It looks like I forgot this minus 1 here. I totally forgot that. I don't know why, but I always do that. So minus 1. Don't forget to do that on yours. All right, now I just hit enter. And when I hit enter, it gives me an answer here. Now, let's go back to our original one. It asks us to round it to the nearest dollar. But that's our final answer. Again, this is just part of our work here, so we never want to round it too soon here. But basically, $424,058.49, 49.5 cents, really. So let's bring this one back in, and we'll go through this. All right, so we've got this one. Here is our answer. Notice I did not round this. I just left it there because I'm going to combine it to something else later, and I don't want to round too soon on these answers. All right, so now that we have that, now let's, we've calculated the first part. Okay, here's the part we just calculated. Now we've got to go to part number 2 here. If we currently have $2,000, and we want to just invest that over the 40 years. So and it looks like it compounds monthly. So we have to bring in our formula for compound interest. That one we've learned earlier in the year. This is our compound interest formula. P is my present value, that's my 2,000. Interest rate, R is my interest rate. And I know it would be nice if they just went APR and kept everything the same, but that's okay. N is the number of times it compounds a year, and then T is the time in year. So I'm going to bring that formula in. I'm just going to start filling it in with what we know here. So 2,000, we know that's for P, so I'm going to put in 2,000 for P. Let's see, R is my interest rate, 0.085. We've done that one before. N is the number of times it compounds per year. This one says it compounds monthly. There are 12 months in a year, so N is going to be 12 there. And finally, T is going to be 40. That's the number of years. Now I just plug this one into my calculator right here. And again, you're going to plug it in just like you see it here. Let me get out of this. We'll close this. I'll bring back in my calculator here and I'll show you what it should look like. All right. That one should be 2,000. And this would be 1 plus, and I have another fraction, that's my control division sign here, 0.085 divided by 12, all raised to the power, and again that's the one that kind of looks like a roof on a house, 12 times 40. Okay, and that's going to give me on this one, this here, so let's just, I'm not going to quite bring that one in, there we go. So that's going to give me $59,214.24. Now what I need to do is I need to combine those two together. In order to find that, all I'm going to do is add the two together. So here's my first one. This is my monthly payment one. This one's my second one. This one is my starting amount of $2,000, then I don't add anything else to it. Then all I'm going to do is add those two together. And that'll give me my final answer. At this point, I do round it to the nearest dollar. So this one I would round here. And let me just get back in here real quick to your calculator. Because a nice thing with your calculator, all you have to do is you have this as an answer here. Just hit the plus sign. That tells you this answer here plus this. So I just need to go up. I'll hit the up arrow until I come to the cross to that one. I hit enter. Once I highlight that one in blue, I hit enter. It pulls it up here. Then I just hit enter one more time. And this will give me my 483,272.73. If I'm rounding it to the nearest dollar, that will give me my 273, and then I would stop there. But your calculator will do all that too. You don't even have to enter it in. That's the beauty of this TI Nspire. All right, well, hopefully that helped. If you need to, you can go back in and rewatch the video as many times as you need. I also have some other videos that you may want to check out just to help you a little bit more.